fill your thirst beside the river. Wash the journey from your hand. Feel the comfort flow inside you. Come this far, you understand.
Don't squint.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Healing Outside the Box. I'm Rosemary Lachance, a spiritual healer and teacher and therapist.
Hi, and I'm Dina Scungio, and I am a student and teacher of spirituality.
We are co-hosts for this thought-provoking series and are dedicated to providing you with food for thought information and answers to all modalities of alternative healing, spiritual development, animal welfare, environmental concerns, and so much more in the form of guest speakers who are experts in their fields. This series is recorded and will be shown in your area on your local public service cable network. Please contact them for dates and times.
And if you have a group that you think would be interested in what we have to offer, we are available to come to your group and teach. We also will give you our contact information at the end of the show. Please visit Rosemary's website and click on My TV Show, where you'll find a wealth of information about the show. Our shows are now available for you to watch free on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in Healing Outside the Box to make your choices. We are constantly adding new shows, so please keep checking back. We are also on Facebook under Healing Outside the Box, so you could go there and like our page and you'll find out all the latest information about the show. And please, we hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, and before we start the show, I wanted to read a flyer that I have here. The North Haven Police Union Rescue K911 presents Operation Animal Freedom. And they're going to conduct a huge 3-day adoption event at the North Haven Fairgrounds on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they've gotten approval from Mr. Michael Frieda, the first selectman of North Haven. And he's a co-chairman of the Connecticut's Humane Treatment of Animals Task Force. We've had him on our show, and he's coming back again. So they're looking to work together in this event to provide homes for many animals while possibly promoting any business or organization that caters to animals such as rescue, grooming shelters, pet supply stores, pet bakeries, and so forth. They're looking for vendors to provide vegan or vegetarian cuisine, skincare, and hair products that are 100% cruelty-free. So basically it's about going above and beyond to keep the animals out of the products and food out of your tummies. So please contact them for more information. You can go on her Facebook page. It's titled Gina Kuerogo, Q-U-E-R-I-O-G-O. And the phone number to call is 860-510-8640. And I'll be making this announcement on my next few shows, and they will be on the show in May, the end of May. Okay, now, tonight, this is show number 189. Wow. Oh. And the title of the show is Spiritual Laws of the Universe and Angels. And our guest is Elena White, school psychologist and spiritual author. Welcome, Elena. So good to have you, Elana.
Yes.
So good to have you. I always say that wrong. It's Elana.
I know, I answered them all. It's fine.
Let me tell you a little bit about Elana before we begin. Elana, a certified school psychologist and spiritual author and teacher and speaker, has lived in Connecticut for most of her life. She's worked as a school psychologist for over 20 years, has been a Reiki practitioner for almost 10 years. Through her eldest daughter's curiosity about different religions, Elana found her spiritual path. She's been exploring and learning everything she can since 2006. Teaching about the angels, the laws of the universe, and intuitive children is her passion. She currently teaches at Curious Goods in West Haven, Avant-Garde Holistic Center in Brantford, and through the Amity Adult Education Program in Woodbridge. She has written and published 2 books. The first is a children's book to help intuitive children and their parents, and it's called My Gift, a book about a child who sees spirits. Her second book is entitled 365 Morning Messages from the Angels, daily messages to guide you to a more positive life. She will soon be hosting Create Your Life Vision Board Workshops. Vision Board Workshops in New Haven area. And she shares information about spiritual topics and her events on her Facebook page. You can also follow her blog and follow her on Twitter. Okay, this is quite a woman we have here.
Yeah, and those are your books?
Yeah, show your books. Yeah.
Sure.
Show the audience
so
your book.
The
show one up.
Is
maybe we can
My Gift.
get a close-up of Elena and show the... Yeah, that's pretty good.
And you know, it's illustrated. It's for children. It's for all children and adults, but it's to help children who do see or hear spirit, or just have some sensitivities, and not be afraid. And it tells them what to do. It explains their gift a little, and it just makes them more comfortable, so they know they're not alone. It's funny because even some adults, when they have some experiences now, they've told me they've used what it says in the book.
Yeah.
You gave me one, and I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so it's really my father illustrated. He brought the story to life. It's
Dad's a good artist.
Yeah, he's an amazing
Wow.
artist.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just came to me one night, and I had to write it down. So it was definitely gifted to me and to the children, so
Wow.
and their
That's
families.
That's great.
So that's my gift. And then this one has been a work in progress for a while. This 365 morning messages. Every day for a year, I received a message, and I wrote them down and sent them out through text messages to just people I knew, and it spread through word of mouth, and I did over 60 people a day with just the text, and then they were bugging me, are you going to put it in a book? So here they are.
Can you get that on Amazon? Or?
Yep, both of them
Okay.
are on Amazon, and each day is a different message.
That's
that
nice.
looks great.
That looks
Wow.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the children, when they tell parents that they see spirit, the parents kind of paw them, you know, right?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's hard for the children. So we're going to talk about that. So anyway, you got into this because of your daughter, right?
Two daughters.
You're both your daughters.
Yeah, both my daughters. My older one was just exploring. She just wanted to learn more about different things, and through that, I was like, "Wait, what are you doing?" So I explored with her, and voila, here I am, and it's been amazing.
Have you had any experience before that you started to?
Not that I really. I mean, things people talk about things. My mom, she was sick one time, and I brought her a glass of water, and she's like, "How did you know I wanted water?" I was like, "Didn't you ask me for it?" And I was like, I was little, I don't know. So
Okay.
things like that. I think
Yeah.
everybody has different kinds of experience like that. But no, nothing.
You haven't seen spirit or anything?
No.
Have your
not
children?
me.
Have they?
Yes.
They have?
Yes.
Ah.
One sees, the other one senses.
Senses, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so it's as a parent, that's one of the reasons that I want to help as many parents as I can, because it is very challenging to I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful gift, but there can be a lot of challenges with it too, with being empathic and just seeing things or hearing things or sensing things that you don't understand. It can be scary, and
Yeah.
if you don't understand it,
Definitely.
yeah. So it's really important to believe them, and just nurture them with it, and it's and a lot of people don't understand, and they don't understand why you're doing certain things with your child. That it's like, well, because you don't understand what they're going through.
Right. And then
So-
you have to kind of help them to tell the good spirits from the not so good
Yeah,
spirits
yes.
too, right?
Yep, and that they have the power. They absolutely have the power to tell them, any of them, even the nice ones, they don't want them around. Go away. I don't want you. This is my space. You don't have to. They need to know that they have the power to do that.
That's true. You're right.
You
Because it
taught
can be
me-
used.
when I was little, you used to taught me put a white light around you. Imagine a white light
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
And tell them you don't want them here.
Yep. All
the dark
these
spirits,
kids
yeah.
need to not walk out of the house without doing that.
Yeah.
Every morning they should be putting white light around, or pink bubble, whatever image you want to do, but as long as it's the light of
From
love
God,
and
yeah,
light,
from
the
God
light
and
of God.
Christ, yeah.
Yep. So that's what they need to be taught, because they need that protection, because they're getting bombarded all the time, and they get exhausted, and a lot of teenagers, yes, the whole teenagers with hiding in their room kind of thing, that's very normal and typical for teenagers. But these teenagers, they absolutely need that time away from everything. They need to just regroup, re-energize, just get away from all the energies of just being in school, and it's not easy for them. It's really not
No.
easy for them, and people don't realize. They don't realize how difficult, because even if they're just, and it's never a just, but even they're just empathic and they don't see things or hear things, but just feeling all that energy and emotions of everybody else, and not knowing how to distinguish, and they haven't figured out how to, what's mine and what's theirs, and how do I block it, and all that. It's very overwhelming and can cause anxiety and depression. Some children embrace it and they're doing amazing things, and that's wonderful. And that's great, but there's plenty of them that aren't. You know, they just don't know how to deal with it.
Maybe they don't get good guidance from their parents as well.
Yeah, well, the parents just don't know. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea. I hadn't, you know, my little one, when I took her to therapy when she was 3, because she was pretend friends, and she was having so much anxiety and scared and all this stuff. I didn't know it was because she was sensing all this stuff. I mean, now I know, but, you know, I had no idea. You know, so there's no blame for parents at all. You know, it's just, you just have to learn as you go and figure it out and try to
keep an open mind. Huh?
Yeah. I've also had parents. I've heard them. They've said it to me and say, "Oh, my daughter said this." I told her, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything about that again. I don't ever want to hear about that again. That freaks me out."
Oh.
So they're living with it all by themselves.
Oh. Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's really
so
a shame.
just try to educate as you go and just try to support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to bring any of this into the school psychology
really.
with you?
Not really.
That's what
It's
I
hard.
thought.
Yeah, but I have met over the years. I have met quite a few kids who have told me that they've seen something or whatever, and I've had parents who are like, I told them not to tell anybody. I don't want them being sent to the hospital. I'm like, I'm not going to send them to the hospital. I understand, and you know they've seen their grandparents, or they, you know, I had a little one who said, oh yeah, I see. It's a, what do you say, there's a dark man or something, and he just plays with me, and you know, it's like, are you scared of him? No, and I'm like, okay. It's okay, he's just doing what's natural, he's just playing with his spirit. You know, so, but yeah, I can't really, I have to be really, really careful.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't realize they sent kids to the hospital if they had.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes, I got an email from a woman in California who actually said that her daughter was put in the, was hospitalized because she had said that she was seeing things. And the way she was describing it and everything, I could tell that it wasn't any kind of psychotic. First of all, it's very, very rare for children to have those kinds of, like schizophrenia or episode. It's. I mean, it happens, but it's pretty rare. So she just was reaching out because she knew she had all these other things happen as they were growing up, and she knew that this was what it was, but she didn't know what to do to help. And yeah, she was hospitalized. They hospitalized her.
Well, that movie, The Exorcist, right? The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Where her head spins around?
Yeah. Right? What's the name of it, right? That scared a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Parents and children alike, you know?
Me.
But that mother,
that movie.
Part of that was true. And that mother, she never taught her child anything about God, anything about, she said there's nothing, that's it, that's the end of it, right?
A lot of people
Never.
believe that.
And then she let her play with the Ouija board, which is not a good thing to do.
No, you
Ouija
need to
boards
know what you're
attract
doing.
the low, dark spirits.
Yeah, you have to know what you're doing. I mean, it's a tool just like any of the other tools.
Yeah.
But you have to know what you're doing. You have to protect.
Yeah.
And you can't. Yeah, you shouldn't play around with any of them.
No, you
shouldn't
really
play
shouldn't.
any of the tools unless you know what you're doing.
There's so many spirits out there who want to talk. They really, you know that they want to talk to everyone, but and they'll use whoever they can.
Right, and a lot of them. I mean, even when we say they're lower energies and negative energies, it's mainly just they're lost, or they're just looking for somebody, like you said, to actually hear them. And these children have this beacon of light, like they're just shining, and so they're just drawn to them. They don't know it. They just know, oh, they can see me, that kind of thing. And so they don't understand that they're scaring the kid. They don't understand, they're just trying to get somebody's attention because they don't understand themselves what's happening. So that's what a lot of psychics, hopefully some will help cross them over and, like that. But
that movie, I think it's called Ghost Town with Ricky Gervais.
I haven't seen that.
I think that was the name of it. Ghost Town, was it?
I don't remember the name, but I remember the movie.
And it showed all the spirits who were hanging around, and they're all over.
Oh, they're
we
everywhere.
can't see them.
Once
they're
they
everywhere.
realized he could see
And
them.
then when he saw me, you could see me, you could see me. But most of them had unfinished business. They wanted him to go and help them to say something to a loved one so that they could move on. But they couldn't leave until they did this. That was an excellent movie to see if anybody's having a problem like that.
Yeah, I'll have to check that
really,
one out.
it'll take the fear away from you and everything. It's funny. It's a comedy.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely have to check it out.
He's adorable. But the meaning of the movie, it took him a long time to get it, but he got it. And, you got to see the movie. I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah, no, I'll have to see that one. Definitely. Definitely.
So, what are the laws of the universe and how are they important?
Okay, so the laws of the universe, there are a number of them. The one that most people hear about is the law of attraction. What you send out, you get back. That's what The Secret is based on. A lot of people have heard of The Secret. There's a lot of books about it. That's one of the main ones. But there are other ones that people don't talk about as much, they're to help. It's how the universe works. So these things are happening just like gravity. You may not know about it, but it's there. It's working for you. Well, the laws of the universe are the same way. So the more you know about them, the more that you can work with them, the better your life is going to be. Your life is just going to flow. The more you learn about it and work with them, and it's just amazing. It's amazing how
can they find out what these laws are?
Well, there's a lot of different books about them. There's one by Miss Singleton that's the one I really like. There's also Abraham Hicks. There's also Mike Dooley. A lot of them will talk about law of attraction and not talk specifically about the other ones, but they're all, if you really look at their teachings and really follow them, they're all combined in there. They talk about them, they just don't separate them out. But some of the laws, you can go on the internet too and just the laws of the universe and they'll come up.
Laws of the universe.
Or spiritual laws of the universe.
Spiritual laws of the universe.
Yeah.
Laws of the universe.
Right, and you'll get all different ones. I mean, I've seen anywhere like Deepak Chopra has a book out years ago, 7 different laws. And then the one I said, Miss Singleton, is 9.
What's the name of that again?
Which one?
The one you just said?
Singleton. I can't remember her first name right now, so I'm saying Miss Singleton.
Is her last name?
Yeah, Singleton is her last name. I really liked her. She actually had a near-death experience and was given all this information. I saw her in Massachusetts at a holistic fair, and it was fascinating. And I really like her teachings because she teaches about a bunch of hers. She has 9, but if you look on the internet, I've seen up to like 20. But I think when you really look at them, a lot of them are repeating or kind of combining. It's kind of the same. So I'd say there's probably a good 9, 10 good solid ones that if you get to know, you'll you'll understand.
Yeah.
But some of them, like I said, the law of attraction. I don't know if you want me to talk about some of them.
Sure.
So law of attraction is like the main one that everybody talks about, and that is the one to really. That's the one you've got to really learn, and there's a lot to it. There's a lot of layers to it. But then there's also like law of gratitude, like really just living in gratitude, just being really grateful for every single thing in your life, like every single thing. Even like one of my things is the dishes. I use this example all the time. This is one I'm working on. Dishes. I hate dishes. But when I'm doing dishes, I just need to be grateful for the dishes because that means I have food. You know, it's just looking at everything, like car payments. I have a car. Having to get gas. I have a car. Just any little thing that might be an annoyance, look at what you're grateful for it. There's something to be grateful.
True. See, that's very good. Yeah.
So that's one of the laws. Another is unconditional love. Which we all, we hear about. It's really hard. It's hard for all of us, not to be judgmental and to really love everybody. Everybody is on their own path. They're doing the best they can with what they know, and they just can't do anything else. Like, we can't do any better than where we are. We can try to help people grow. We can try to help them see things, but they're on their own path, and we need to be okay with that. And that's where they are.
Let me clarify and see if you agree with me. When we always hear that, love everyone, love everyone. Okay, obviously we can't love everyone.
Because we're human.
There's some people that you just can't,
Yeah,
But what we have to do is see the God in them, who's the same as you, realize that they're your brother or your sister, and love the God in them. You may not say this is not acceptable behavior, the way they are acting, and you may not want them in your life and whatever.
That's the key there.
Right, you can't take everyone into your life because they can depress you and all that. But just look at them, bless them in your mind, and send them on to God and just say, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you mean, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a point once you study it a lot. There is a point where you really truly do love every person. I mean, most of us are not there, but that is the ultimate, where you really truly love every person, because you know that this body is just a body.
It's a house. Yeah.
Right, and and this is just a time and space, and it's just one part of this soul's journey, So it's the whole thing of we're all spirits living a human experience.
Right.
It's that, and if we can really think about that and think about the compassion and have compassion for everybody, no matter what they're doing, I mean, that's the ultimate. We're all working on that.
You're right.
We're all working on it.
My worst one will be, and my last one to forgive, are people who abuse animals.
Yes,
that,
I know.
That
As I said, we're all working on it. I have a hard time with that too, believe me. And
cannot get over
children.
that one.
And children.
And children, right.
And children.
They say, bless the beasts and the children. They have no voice. They have no choice.
Yep. Yeah. But the unconditional love also includes ourselves. That's a huge piece.
That's another big one for
you really
me.
have to. You really have to love yourself before you
know.
can truly love everybody else. That's part of our work. That's part of what we're working on here. But that is the law of unconditional love. There's the law of ideals, which is our goals. We have to have a life plan, even though it may be changing along the way. You can't just flutter around and just whatever. You still have to do some work. You still it's like leaving law of attraction. Law of attraction is really just feeling what you want in life, like really believing that it's already happened and being there and just allowing things to flow. It's all about allowing things to flow, but you can't just wait for things to happen. You got to do the work too. So you have to have
right. You're right.
So you have to have your goals. You have your short-term goals, your long-term goals. How is all that going to look? So those are the ideals. Then there's the law of cause and effect. Like the law of karma. Everything has a reaction. That's another really important one, obviously,
very important.
Because what you do affects everybody. You may not realize it, but it affects everybody, and it will come back to you. And that's also law of attraction. What you put out, you're going to get back. So make sure it's nice and make sure it's good, because that's what you want back. And then there's
a good example of that is when you throw a stone in the water, it makes ripples.
Yep,
and some of those ripples are coming right back to you.
Exactly. I like that one. Yes, definitely.
So if you think about that, they can think about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Trying to think of them all. Law of polarity, female, male energy. We try to, we all have a little of both, and most of us have a little more of one than the other, but we try to balance as much as we can. We want to have, the male action energy, but we also want the female nurturing energy. So it's the law of balance kind of thing. So that's another one. Then there's the law of divine oneness. We're all one. We're all connected. And again, with the whole, affects everybody, that kind of thing. We're all one with Source. We're all one with God. Oh, wow. So, that's another, so if you remember that and you live that, then you'll make different choices and you'll do things more through compassion.
The darker powers are trying so hard to make us take God out of everything. And look at what's happening to the world. People lose their faith because they see what's happening and they believe in a God who's supposed to do something about it. And he can't do anything about it.
No,
it's our free will.
Right, we have free will, and that's where law of attraction comes in. We're attracting things. And we may not like it, and I know a lot of people will not like this, they will not understand it, but once they start studying it, it'll make more sense. But we do attract it all to ourselves. Yes. We do. Everything in our life is attracted because of our thoughts and our feelings.
Absolutely.
So,
totally agree.
So the world is reacting to the thoughts and fears of the people.
You're right.
That's
So all those crazy boyfriends that you broke up with as a teenager, you actually attracted
yes,
them?
You did.
Yes,
yes, you did.
You did.
I know. know. I look back
God.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, if I had only known.
Right?
Thank God
But
that
we also have to go through those things. We're here for experiences. So we're learning about it when we're supposed to learn about it. You know, and because I think back, I was like, oh, I wish I had known for my girls when they were younger, the things I know now. But obviously, I wasn't supposed to. This is how my life is supposed to go, and I'm learning as I go and doing the best I can.
As long as you recognize yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know it, but all the negative thoughts and actions that people do also affects this planet.
Oh, absolutely.
And the weather and the storms and the tornadoes and the earthquakes and the volcanoes, that's all negativity coming from people. That's,
Right.
oh, no, that's just a... Start reading these laws, and then they'll understand.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what they do, and God does nothing like that. There's no punishing God, there's only a loving
right,
God.
loving God.
And
absolutely.
that's it, period.
everybody
And on your
blames him
side
when,
all
yeah.
the time.
when things
on
go
your side.
wrong.
Sure.
They all blame
Yeah,
God.
they do. They absolutely do.
How did you come to know about the laws of the universe?
How did I first? That's a good question. I have to think. I think just through all my just learning about different things, I came across it. I honestly don't remember specifically the point that I did.
You must have read something.
I must have read something, heard something. But it's funny because I had the Abraham Hicks book, Esther Hicks.
Yes. Hicks.
And I had her book, Asking Is Given, on my shelf forever. Somebody had given it. I have so many books, and you know, it's like, oh, you know,
Asking is given?
Asking It Is Given.
Oh, Asking is given.
Yeah, and I thought, honestly, I thought it was a religious book. Cause sitting I didn't know. It was on my shelf, you know, because she had given me, my friend gave me all these books that she was cleaning out, and so I put them all. It's like, when, you know, I said, I don't know what I'm going to want or what I'm going to, so I just put them all up there. And then all of a sudden I was looking at it, and I was like, this isn't what I thought it was at all. And I started reading it, and I was hooked. So I know I know I had heard about it before, and you know, but it brought me to that book, and that was the first book I read. It's a wonderful book, wonderful.
I haven't
intro.
heard it.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
Another thing, too, is the Bible. So much violence in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament. So much violence, and they talk of a punishing God who does all these terrible things to you. And that's another thing that makes fear. People have to learn to separate and reason things out in their minds.
It took me a long time. It took me
You
a
know?
long time to
Yeah,
let go
it
of
takes a while.
that fearful God. It did.
Yes, it does.
It did. It took me a
And
long
religions
time.
teach a fearful God because it makes people stay with them.
Right.
It gives them power over the people. That's what
No, I agree with
they
you.
do.
But we have our own power because
That's
we are
right.
one with God, and we can do really whatever we want, and that's what these laws are about. That we are totally in control of our lives, even though we don't feel like it a lot of times.
Most
We
of
really
the time.
don't, but we really are. And the more that we learn about the laws, and the more we work with them, because you have three choices. This is one of the things in Miss Single's book. You can go with the flow of the laws. You can work with them, understand them, work with them, or you can ignore them, if you know about it, ignore them, or you can fight against them. The last two are going to cause strife. It's going to cause emergency thinking. It's going to cause, frantic thinking. And it's your choice. It's your choice.
Yeah,
and a lot of times we
exactly.
catch ourselves. It takes time to change your thoughts. It takes time to realize, that you have the power. But once you start doing, it's amazing. My life. I just can't believe how my life has changed, just since I've been, studying all of this stuff, but especially the laws of the universe. It's been
happens
amazing.
for so many people.
Yeah.
Once they start on the path, start looking. If you want it, go out and find a way to get it.
Yep.
You got to do, like you said, you got to do the
You
work.
gotta do the work. Yep.
Go
But
out
it's good
and-
work. It's actually fun work. I mean, it's because when you start, these little things start happening, you're like, wow, it really does work. This is true stuff. It's amazing.
But if the book or the person teaching teaches you fear,
yeah, no.
all right, that's
should be
used
no
to
fear in
control
it
or teaching
whatsoever.
you this is the
Yeah.
only way.
Yeah, no.
That
There's
is not
all
true
different
too.
ways to look at it,
That's
right.
right. So those are the things you have to look out for.
You have to go with what
fear
resonates
controls.
with you.
You can use fear to control people
Right.
all the time, which is
Right.
what religions do.
Yeah.
All right, keep the people with me. Keep them with me at anything. I'm the only one. I'm the only way. No good. No good.
There's lots of people teaching about the laws. You find who you're comfortable with, what resonates with you, because
Right.
they're teaching it all a different way. And you know, even I teach it, and I'm like, well, who am I to be teaching this? All these people are teaching it, but you know what? My way might suit somebody.
That's
you know,
right, exactly.
And they may not be able to see the big gurus or whatever. You know, so I'm on my path, helping who I can. You know, and I'm learning along the way too. But you have to go with who resonates. If somebody doesn't feel right, go find somebody else to learn from.
You do have to
Yeah.
go with your gut feeling.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Because not everybody's for everybody.
This is a great turn of time here. Nothing will ever be as great as it was now. And the one before that was when Christ was born. And this is the second one and the last. And we'll never have it again. So this, it's like actually a privilege to be born in these times.
It's exciting.
And a
It's
lot of
exciting
people incarnated in this particular time to teach.
Yeah, there's
Great
a lot
teachers,
of, yeah.
medium teachers, small teachers, but there's a lot of people who can teach. And just like you said, find someone, find something that resonates in you. What doesn't, leave it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are nervous to seek it out because although I'm noticing it more mainstream every day. I mean, you can see stones and what are the salt lamps, right, at TJ Maxx. You know, I mean, you're seeing things more mainstream now, you know, but it's still, people are still nervous about, you know, learning it or teaching it because it's something weird or against their religion or whatever. And you have to go with your feeling. What feels right to you? It's all about the feeling because that's your inner guidance. That's your soul. That's what you're connected with Source. You're one with Source. That's the whole point. And the whole thing of law of attraction is when you're not feeling that alignment, when you're not feeling in that good place, then that means you're not aligned with Source, and you're not doing what your true joy and what your true calling is. So you really need to. Our feelings are actually our guidance system that tells us when we're off that, when we're not really doing what our soul came here to do, and really, really, you know, not that we're doing anything wrong because it's all part of the experience, but it's a guidance system. It's guiding you to be like, oh, you know what, this makes me feel really good. I need to go do this.
That's right.
See, that's how I feel about Florida.
And the sooner you get to it, the quicker you
Yeah.
can work out what
Yeah.
you came to do in this lifetime.
It takes time,
Get
right?
rid of
It
your
takes
karma
time.
and
So the
everything
sooner as you
else.
do it, yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
And you shouldn't let fear stop you from doing it.
I know, and that's a hard one for me. It's a hard one for me. It's a hard one for a lot of people because
It is.
you know it's like what's going to happen.
Big changes, yeah.
What's going to happen is something great could happen. You know?
Sometimes you have to leave, though. You have to leave that security in order to do it, and that's the
hard
hardest
to do.
thing to do.
Yep. And we all have our places where we're just not ready to do it.
And all
You
the
know?
big major religions teach that. They with the fear again, if you don't do it this way, it's wrong. You're wrong. You're committing a sin if you go with someplace else or someone else.
Yeah.
You got to
And
break
you can
that
follow.
bond.
I've noticed a lot of people, like I have a lot of friends who are on the spiritual path and they're still following their religion, and that's fine. But they're going with what feels good with them, and they're not necessarily following everything like to the, you know, they're doing what feels right to them.
That's exactly
You know,
it.
it's not saying you don't
have to let go
follow
of it.
any religion.
No.
But do it with your heart.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. If it's a good guidance for you and you need that support and you need, because a lot of places it's where people feel a community, and that's awesome. You
That's
need
what they love
that.
the best is the community, yeah.
Yeah,
The community.
but think about what makes sense to you and what doesn't, and follow
Right, you
your
don't have to
heart.
follow
Yeah.
every single word.
Right.
And
Some
when you
people are really to the grindstone with their religion. But I have a friend who I work with who was born, she's Jewish, she was raised Jewish, nothing else. And we happened to have a talk one day at work, and I said, you know, Jewish people don't believe in Jesus. And she goes, you know what? She goes, I do. She said, I do because that's what feels right to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
There are
I said, wow,
people-
that's
there are a lot-
fantastic.
there are
I was brought up
Jewish people,
Jewish.
Jews
I
for
was brought up
Christ.
Jewish, and
But she said, but
I
don't
have
ever,
Jew-
don't tell my
picture of
mother, she
Jesus.
says.
You know, my mother has a hard time with me saying, no, Jesus really
Because you're
exists.
Jewish and you believe
Yeah.
in Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, are
see
you?
that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
brought up Jewish. I don't practice, but yeah, I was brought up Jewish, and but I do believe. I always believed that he was a prophet, and I believed he was Son of God, just like all of us are children
Right.
of God. So that's the difference. And I definitely believe that he is. Oh no, I definitely believe he's real, and he's guiding people all the time.
Yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
absolutely.
Just like the angels, he's right there. You know, all the other ascended masters. He's one of the ascended masters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you tell us what Create Your Life Vision Board workshops are about?
Oh, my new joy. Talk about following my heart. Yes, vision boards. If you know what a vision board is, which I know a lot of people don't, I'm finding a lot of people don't. So what a vision board is very simply, it's poster board, piece of paper, whatever, where you cut out pictures in magazines, you cut out words that you put on the board of things you want in your life. That's a very simplistic definition of a vision board. Exactly why the Create Your Life Vision Board workshops.
That's a great idea.
I have one in my closet.
Yeah, I have a bunch of them. But the difference between doing a vision board and going to one of these workshops, they're having them all over the country now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah.
And what it is, it's a full day immersion. It's a full day of just thinking about you. And think about what you truly, truly want in your life. And because I think, even my vision boards, I was like, oh yeah, I want this. And then, as I'm going through this stuff for these workshops, I'm like, wait a minute, you know what? What truly, truly brings me joy aren't even on my vision boards because I didn't go deep enough. So what this does is it's not just doing this vision board. It's a full day where the morning is going through, what actually brings you joy, and we go through exercise and we do meditation and we really think it's just you totally just think about you and what brings you joy and what makes your heart sing, and then you go through this process, a specific process of making your vision board. And then you get to take that home. And because all that energy of that day went into this board, you don't even have to really look at it again. Some people do, they hang it up, but you don't have to because it's already out there. The universe has already gotten it, and it's such strong, positive energy from the day that as long as you allow yourself to be open to receiving them, you'll start seeing the things start happening in your life.
True. It's true. You have to tell Spirit what you want so they'll know.
Why am I still
living
in
I want that one. Well, you'll get it
Some
if
reason.
it's good for you.
Some reason.
And there's got to be a reason if you don't get it. So it's not right for
just
you.
wanna
It's
live
not
in
right for you at
Florida.
this time.
Or you're just not
whatever
allowing
it.
it. A lot of times, that's when you read the book, Asking is Given, there's 3 steps to law of attraction. One, you have to ask. A lot of times you just don't ask. You have to ask. The second one, and that's your work. The second one is it's given, and that's the universe's work. You don't have any control over that, but the universe is giving it to you. It's waiting there. All these things you want, you have ever asked for, is waiting there for us. It's already there. The third one, which is the hardest, is allowing it to come into your life. And that's where we block. We are like, no, I'm not worthy enough. No, I can't do it. No, whatever. We have all these excuses. We could all make a list of them. Okay.
Is it about things or people or
Everything.
both or
Everything.
You'll get what's good for you if you ask the right people. You can get what's bad for you if you ask the wrong people. So
How do you know who's listening?
they're all listening.
Well, it's
But
all
the way
about
you-
vibration too.
Yeah, exactly.
If your
That's it.
vibration is higher, if you're at a higher vibration because you're in a good place, you're thinking good thoughts, you're just living your life and you're feeling good, which we can't do 24 hours a day, but if you can do it more times than not, feel that way, you're going to be at a higher vibration. And that's when it's more easy that things can come into your life.
You know what else too? And maybe I don't know if you'll agree with me or not. It's motivation. What is motivating you to want these things? What is your motivation? Is it totally selfish? Okay. What is it about? You have to follow the whole thing right down to the end and just be honest with yourself and saying, okay, well maybe this isn't such a good idea that I'm asking for this or wanting this. Yeah. And have faith that what is best for you will happen. Only what is best for you.
She's like that little bird on your shoulder with the voice of reason in the ear. So when things don't go well, she goes, well, what was your motivation?
I mean, you hate
Did
that.
you really want that? Or did you want this? Like that little parrot.
That's what moms are for.
I know. But she's rich.
It didn't go my way, Mom. What was your motivation? Damn it. Why are you forcing me to be honest with myself?
You picked me.
Exactly, you did.
They keep telling me that.
Yes.
Although I want a court of my peers when I get to heaven. That's all. You know I love her.
I know. She knows that's the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth. Think about your motivation.
I've heard it said before, though, that when you're saying like what you think about, what you all the things that you think about are there for you. I've heard it said where you should say, not say like, I want this. You should already.
Yep.
So how do you because to me it's like I have, you know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So what you do? Okay. So what that means is you don't want to keep saying I want, because then you're always going to want it. You're not going to have it. You're always going to want it.
That's what I've heard.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you?
So you
change
do want
the
to.
thought?
So it's affirmations. So what you want to do is like write affirmations for yourself. That are already in the present tense as if you already have it. And you have to feel like you already have it. That's the key. You can send whatever thoughts out you want. It's the vibration of your feelings that is really going out. And mainly it's just easier to match those, but the problem is you'll send out like, oh, I want, I want a new car. So you're saying I want, but I have a new car, but then you're really thinking, or like you have that feeling of, I can't, my old car is awful, I don't have money for a new car, that kind of thing. You have to truly like picture and that's what a vision board, put that vehicle on your vision board, like see it, feel it. What would it feel like to have it? And if you can't truly feel it, there's tricks you can do. The universe doesn't know the difference. It's like you can say, wouldn't it be nice if, because then you're feeling that wonderful feeling about it. Wouldn't it be nice to have that new car? Or wouldn't it be nice to have that new job? Or wouldn't it be nice if, I could visit so-and-so or whatever, wouldn't it be nice, and then you can imagine and pretend and all that. And the universe is just picking up, it doesn't know if it's real or not, and that's what it's given, that's what it'll give back to you as long as you allow it to come. The other thing, I lost it. I was going to say something else. It's gone now.
That's all right. It'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back.
It's sort of like pretending that it's already there when you say, you
right.
know, just imagining that it's already there.
Right.
So
I know what I was going to say. Yes.
Make yourself believe that.
Yes. And what you can do, if you really can't get yourself there believing that that's going to happen, think about something else that you truly feel good about. A childhood memory, just anything that is true for you, that makes you feel really good. Hold that feeling and then transfer it to the other thing. So kind of, you can play around with it a little bit like that. And that takes a little practice too. But also just a lot of times just saying, oh, it'd be so nice to have that, or just be so much better if I could do this or whatever. And then just let it go and just try to be in that higher vibration all the time. You don't have to be thinking about, actually it's better not to be thinking about it. They say, like Mike Dooley, I don't know if you know Mike Dooley, he also does a lot of, he does a lot of, he's tut.com, and he has notes from the universe every morning I get on email. And he does a lot of law of attraction work also. But he really pushes the whole general, think general. Don't think about all these specifics. That's too hard, because you don't have the car. You don't have the new person in your life. You don't have, so it's hard to feel that. So just a general happiness, so whatever does make you happy, stay in that. And because you've already sent out your wants and desires, they'll start coming in because you're at that higher vibration. So it's a lot of practice. It's a lot of, and this is really like, there's a lot to learn with it, but it's just that where you start, honestly, if you've never done anything like this before, where you start is just in the morning, waking up, before you even open your eyes or before you get out of bed, whatever, just say, you know what? Just really feel, this is a really great day. It's just a really, really great day. I can't wait for this day. It's going to be great. It is great. I woke up. It's wonderful. Gratefulness. I woke up, and just try to hold that until something happens, which always does. And then you try to get yourself back, that kind of thing. But that's where you start. Just start with that.
Just
and
keep
see,
thinking
and if
positive.
you keep doing that, you'll notice your day start going a little differently, and then you'll start thinking a little differently, and you'll start. So that's where you can start. You can just start simple with just waking up and being grateful for waking up.
A lot of times with people I talk with, it feels like we're all just waiting for things to happen. We're waiting, we can't wait to get out of work, and we can't wait for the weekend, and we can't wait for this.
That's how we live.
And
That's how we live.
well, it's hard to live in the moment because
right.
we all have to work. I mean, you have to work for a living. That's just how it is, and unfortunately, not everybody gets to do what they love. Fortunately, I get to. I like it, but I don't always like my hours or how long I have to stay away from home and all that. And I feel like it's hard to change my thought pattern around to, like you said, being happy when you get up, because my thought is, God, I can't wait till my 3 days are over so I can have my time off, or I can't wait till my 4 days or whatever so I can have my weekend, because then I'm free. I feel like I'm not attached to anything after that,
If you really, and I know this sounds crazy, but if you really start learning about this and you really start incorporating it little bits at a time, you can manifest hours you want. You really can. You can manifest anything you want. Sometimes it takes time, sometimes it takes patience, because we're still learning how to do it. But we really, it takes a long time. It can be instantaneous, but it takes time for us because we block. And we don't believe it all the time, and we're learning how to do it. But the more that I'm letting go, and more things are like immediate. I have a cute little story. It's really not anything like a new job or new hours or anything like that, but it shows the potential of this. I was writing, I write reports work. I was writing, and I was just really tired, and I was just like, oh, it's like. And I don't eat sweets. I have to say this. I don't eat. I mean, I like brownies, but I'm not a big cupcake person. But I just really, really wanted a really good cupcake. I was just sitting there writing. I was tired. I just wanted a good cupcake. I was like, where did that go? I was like, whatever, and I just let it go. About, I don't know, an hour later, I go to one of the classrooms, and the teacher says to me, "Do you want a cupcake? We just had party." And I was like, my first reaction was, no, I don't want a cupcake. I should have a cupcake. I'm like, wait a minute, I manifested this cupcake. I want the cupcake. So I went over and I had the cupcake. It was the best dang cupcake I ever had in my life. It was so freaking good. And I was like, where are these from? And it's just, we're going to have to get these sometime, because I don't like cupcakes that much, but I love these cupcakes. And it was the strangest thing. But I was so grateful. I was like, but it showed me how quick I can manifest things if I really want them. I was like, oh my gosh, it's really, I have little stories like that all the time. So, and the bigger thing, but I never thought I would do this, so it can happen. It absolutely, you can manifest whatever you want if you go about it and go with the laws and work with them.
And as long as it's good for you. Whenever I try to do that, I always end it with...
But you know what? I hear you. I hear you. But if it's something that brings you joy and you truly feel heart-centered about it, then that is, that's your guidance. It will guide you to what's right for you. If you're not feeling right about it, if it's different between, oh, I got to go to this job versus this job just doesn't feel good for me. There's a difference, because maybe the hours, but you like the job. That's different than, the job. Like you left another job because it wasn't good. It wasn't feeling good.
Yeah, that happened to me recently.
There's a difference,
yeah,
right?
That happened to me
so
recently.
that's what you have to learn to figure out and pull apart. But if it guides you and you're feeling really, really good about it, and it's like it brings you joy, then that's your guidance. That is the right thing for you. But that's what you have to figure out. That's the whole point of figuring out.
I know some people will listen to you and say, okay, well, I'm going to get myself a new house, a new car, get myself $1 million. That's not what we're talking about here. That is not what we're talking about.
You can, but there's a lot of other things.
It's the motives are just selfishness, so
yeah,
we're not going to
I
sit
flood
here.
myself with that. I flood myself with, I'd like to have a new car. But then I sit there and I think, yeah, but I should be praying for food for hungry people, and I should be praying for this and that. And I stop.
Yeah, no.
You can do both.
You can have it. They can have it.
But I feel like I have a blessed life as it is now. I should probably spend more energy asking for things for people who need it.
But they can ask for themselves also.
If they realize they don't all know.
Right, exactly.
Does it work that way too? I mean, can you want it for someone else or?
Not really.
Oh,
I mean,
no?
you can't. You can ask, like, we're going into angels. So it's, the
pray
angels.
on
You can actually send the angels to help them. Absolutely. You can like every single time I see an ambulance, every single time I see a fire truck, every single time police car, I always say, please, angels, send love and light to everyone in that situation.
Yeah.
And every single time I see, I do it.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you always want to, wish well, but you don't want to go down into that lower vibration and be there with them. You don't want to do that. You want to stay in the higher vibration and send the love to them, because love, if you send love, that's going to help the world way more than anything else. Because if you go down and worry about and get into the worry mode of the people that are hungry and the worry mode of it, it's like, then we're just sending more of that out. So we want to send the love out, send them love. When I see the people on the side of the road, sometimes I'll give them something, sometimes I won't, depending on what I have, if I can, whatever. I'm not saying don't help. I'm not saying that at all. But I just, every single time I'll send them love. I will send them love every time. And I always ask the angels, please guide them to some place that will help them to have a better life.
That's true.
Those are the kind of things you can do. But you want to stay in that higher vibration so that everything you want can come into your world, so that you can spread that positive energy, because the positive energy is huge around the world. That's what we need. We need the positive
Exactly,
energy.
we need
Definitely.
the positive energy. Definitely.
So then maybe it's better to teach people to want that for themselves than to want it for them.
Right, it's just like the fish, like you go and teach him to fish
right.
or give him a fish.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
buy
that
him a
totally
loaf of
makes
bread
sense,
and he
yeah.
eats for a day. You teach him how to make the bread
Right.
and he eats for a lifetime.
Exactly.
No, see, now
Exactly.
we just learned a line from the Bible. That's what's
I don't know.
important.
Is that in the Bible? I don't know that.
know.
Yeah, that's what Jesus said. Isn't that what Jesus said? You
I don't
give
know.
a man a loaf of bread and you feed
probably.
him for a
Sounds
day.
familiar.
Probably did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before,
I heard that.
well, we're getting close. We've only got about less than 10 minutes. I
it's
wanted to
amazing
touch a
how
little bit
fast
about
it goes.
about the angels. Are there different type of angels, and how do we
Yes.
connect with them?
Yes, they're all spirit. They're all loving energy. They're all positive. They all just want the best for us. But there are different types of angels. We all have a guardian angel.
Right.
Some people feel that we have 2 or 3 guardian angels. Depends on who you read. But we definitely at least have one guardian angel with us for eternity. Like that's always with us. When we're in this life, constantly with us, never leaves our side, and is always our cheerleader. Then there's other kind of angels that will come in and help with all different kinds of things. All you have to do is ask. You just have to ask them, and if you don't know which angel does what, or if you don't know, you just say, angels, I need help with this. They'll help you.
Yeah, I'm sure we don't know which one does what.
They don't care. They have, it's more for us, for our ease, about like categories and names and all that kind of stuff. They don't care. They're just like angels. I don't really call on some archangels I do. Archangels are specific angels that they have like more specific purposes that help with certain things. Like Archangel Raphael helps with healing. Archangel Michael helps with protection, and among a million other things he does. And they can be helping anybody at any time. The law of abundance is another one of the laws, and that's also, it has to do with the angels, because the angels, they can be anywhere at any time, multiple places, anytime, because time is not the same as here.
Thinking they're there, right?
Yeah,
I don't be.
they can be in multiple places. So law of abundance is that there's enough for everybody, and so including the angels, there's enough for everybody. So they will just help you however you need to. So there are all different kinds, but you don't need to really worry about that.
Right.
You just say, angels, I need help, or angels, can you help me with this? And I'm talking every little thing. Sometimes I ask them to help me figure out what I'm going to wear in the morning. It's like they don't care. They just want to guide us and help us to have a joyful life. That's their job, to help us be joyful.
So
And they will help us in any way they can.
How can we use your book to get messages from the angels?
Oh, my book, yes. So you can use it in any different way. Some people, they've told me that every day they'll read the next one. Some people, actually, my mother says she reads them at night. Fine. Another time, like the way I do it is, I personally this is how, because then I see an image of where they want me to open it. But you can do it, whatever you're guided to do, you can just open it and get a message. I know a lot of times when I'm like aggravated about something and I need to like move on because I don't want to be in that vibration, I'll say, you just gotta give me some guidance on this or whatever. And I often will just open it up and one of the pages will have to do it. Yeah. And it's still amazing. I publish it. I'm still amazed at how it's just
really?
It's just like angel cards.
The right thing. Yeah.
It's just like angel
I'm always
cards.
amazed when I do readings of people.
Yeah.
How the perfect thing comes for them.
Yeah.
And I say, I don't have any control over these cards. They just come out perfectly for you,
It's
whatever
amazing,
you need.
isn't it?
I know. It
it's the same
amazes
thing
me.
here. I know. I'm the one who put them on paper, and I'm like, even though I got them from them, they gave these to me. But it's still amazing me. But yeah, you can use the same way as cards. Just pick a card, you pick a page, kind of thing. So that's what that's one of the ways you can, or like I said, every day you can just read a different message. It's up to you.
So you should go on Amazon and order that book from Elana. And what's it called again?
It's 365 morning messages from the angels.
365
One for
morning
every day
messages
of the year.
And what was the website you said about the person we were talking about earlier who had
Which one?
messages he said you get messages
That's tut.com, TUT.com.
TUT.com?
Yeah, Mike Dooley. Yep, he sends
Okay.
out messages. And also Abraham Hicks has daily messages also.
Abraham Hicks.
Yep.
And
That's
he's an
Esther
author?
Hicks. No, Abraham is the collection of spirit. They call themselves Abraham, and they channel through Esther Hicks.
Oh,
So it's Esther Hicks is the actual author.
okay.
And but you can go if you just Google Abraham Hicks, it'll come up, and then you can
that's
sign up. Yeah, you can sign up for their daily emails also, and they have messages too about law of attraction.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
they're all both of them are about law of attraction.
How can our viewers find out more information about the laws of the universe?
You can Google.
Just
You
Google?
Google.
All right, people.
Google, but honestly, like if you
Google.
if you Google Abraham Hicks, Mike Dooley, just spiritual laws of the universe, any of those kind of things. A lot of times I'll put things up on my Facebook page. I share sometimes I'll share some of theirs. Sometimes I put messages from my book up there. Just anytime you hear of anything, just, if it catches your ear or whatever, see what it's about.
Do you have a Facebook page, like a fan
we're going
page
to
where you
give
can
that
be
out.
like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that how people can find out to take your classes and that
Yeah,
kind of thing?
I always put all my events up there. I have some classes coming up. I do have a vision board workshop coming up on April 1st. And I also be teaching a couple of classes at Amity. And we're having, actually at Avant-Garde on the 19th, we're having a movie morning, I guess. It starts at 11 in the morning. But it's an hour of an Abraham Hicks DVD, and then we're going to have an hour of discussion about it. So, yeah, it's pretty
What day of the week
interesting.
is it?
It's a Sunday morning,
Oh,
11
Sunday?
o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's the 19th.
We have about 2 minutes left, and there's two questions I want to ask you. First of all, do they really give us signs, the angels?
Yes, absolutely.
Give us an example. What do you think?
Time. For me, it's numbers. For me, it's 1s and 4s. I see them everywhere. If I'm thinking something, I see that. They're giving me like everything's okay. Because usually when I'm worried about something, and I'll see them. Feathers.
I get feathers.
Feathers.
Yeah.
My
And the
girlfriend gets
darndest
feathers.
places, too.
Yep. I was upset about something. I was nervous about something. All of a sudden, there was a little feather over here. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Right.
If you
Or
see
walking along,
yep,
find one,
especially in the wrong time of the year when you find
Yeah.
them, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Songs, messages and songs, through animals.
Yep. Through animals.
Just thoughts. If you have a recurring thought that's like 3 times, and you're like, I don't know where this is coming. Like you just keep thinking this thing. It's probably them trying to get you to think about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
they're
driving down the
constantly-
road, and all of a sudden a car will pull in front of me with this number on the license plate. Triple number, 4443332, whatever.
Everybody has. You'll find your
yeah,
own. Like my daughter, it's
exactly.
7s. Mine, it's 1s and 4s.
Yeah.
It's it's whatever. You'll start seeing patterns.
Oh,
All right, before
I'll
we
have to pay
close,
attention
can we
to that.
get a message for our
yes.
audience today?
Sure.
And then we'll give the contact information.
All right. Open your heart when meeting people of cultures different from your own. There is much to be learned through those experiences.
That's a very good message.
for
and
today's-
this ties,
for
with everything
today's,
going on.
it definitely is.
Huge
Okay, now we're
tolerance.
going to give our contact information. To get in touch with Elena White, it's Elana White Author at gmail.com. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Elana White Author. That's how you can get a hold of her. If you miss this, you can get a hold of me anytime, and I'll put you in touch with her. Okay?
And we'll also have information on our Facebook page.
Yes.
With her.
So for Healing Outside the Box, you can call me at 203-627-7966. Email me at whitebuffalo8@comcast.net. Please go on my website, www.rosemarylachance.com. Dina?
And you can get a hold of me at freewind1@comcast.net. And also on Facebook and Twitter, I'm under D. Scungio.
All right, everyone. Good night. Mwah. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank
so
you so much
It
for
was
having
wonderful.
me. Yes,
Thank you.
It was
Like to have you
wonderful.
back again.
Oh, that would be
Feel
great.
the comfort flow inside you.
All right, so my first order
Come this far, you understand.